Today we will be learning about and practicing combining and varying sentences. Note that you can pause this lesson at any time by clicking the pause button in the lower left. I will be cueing you to pause this video at certain points. Additionally, you can maximize the window by clicking the appropriate button in the lower right. You may want to have pen and paper ready, as I will be prompting you to practice writing some varied sentences. If you need to go get these supplies, go ahead and click the pause button now, and then click the play button when you're ready to continue. Note that if you email the original sentences you create to me, you will earn extra credit on your next composition. As a language arts teacher, one of the most common comments that I write on students' papers is, vary your sentence structure. While there may be nothing grammatically incorrect with your sentences as they are, there are a few reasons that it is really important to vary your sentence structure. Varying your sentence structure certainly makes your writing more interesting. It also adds style to whatever you're writing. And finally, sentence variety will certainly help you develop your writing skills.
But what does it really mean to vary your sentence structure? When varying sentence structure, one strategy is to mix up your beginnings. There are many, many ways to start a sentence, but today we're going to discuss just 3 of them: 2 adjective starters, ing starters, and ly starters. You will see that often using these sassy sentence starters involves combining 2 sentences. After years of being trained to do so, most of you are really good at incorporating adjectives into your writing to add detail. Now that you have that skill down, you can start to think of different ways to use those adjectives to make your writing more interesting. One way to do this is to use the adjectives at the beginning of the sentence. Here are 2 sentences that use 2 adjective beginnings. I've given you these 2 examples, but now let's have you create your own. Oftentimes, varying sentence structure, as I mentioned, involves combining 2 shorter sentences. Here, we see 2 sentences that together are kind of boring. They would read with a choppy feel. While I read these sentences aloud, think about how you could combine them into one sentence that starts off with 2 adjectives. These cups are worthless. They are chipped and cracked. Feel free to pause this video now if you need another moment to think about how to combine these 2 sentences. Did you think of a way to do so? I will bet that you did, and perhaps you did so like this. This is an easy way you can combine the 2 sentences while also starting off with 2 adjectives. Now, try creating a sentence that starts with 2 adjectives from scratch. Using this picture as a prompt, take a minute to write a sentence of your own that starts with 2 adjectives. This will be the first sentence that can earn you extra credit, so you may want to be sure to write it down. Pause this video while you write your original sentence, then click play to continue. Another way to write a sassy sentence is to use an ing phrase or word at the beginning of a sentence. Here are some sample sentences that use this strategy. Take a moment to read them and hit pause if you need to.
Let's examine this strategy a little closer as we read 2 sentences that could also be combined for variety. Carl won the Most Valuable Player award. He threw 6 amazing touchdowns. How would you combine these 2 shorter sentences to create one sentence that uses an ing phrase at the beginning? Pause if you need a moment to consider how to do this. This is the way I combined the 2 sentences, while also creating an ing phrase at the start. Did you do something similar?
Now, see if you can come up with an ing beginning sentence all on your own, using this picture as a prompt. Feel free to describe either the rider or the horse. Click pause until you have formulated your idea. And remember that these original sentences can be sent to me for extra credit. As a bonus, know that not only can you add ing phrases at the beginning of a sentence, but you can also add them to the end of a sentence. This, too, is a great way to add variety to your sentences. Here is an example of a sentence that uses an ing phrase at the end. Rather than saying, Nick blew out all his birthday candles, he wished he would get a lava lamp. The second sentence is turned into a phrase and attached to the end of the first sentence. Here is another example of a sentence that uses ing at the end for sentence variety. So, once again, I would like for you to combine these two sentences into one, while also using an ing phrase at the end. Click pause while you consider how to do this. Then click play to continue. Here is how I did it. Maybe you did something similar, or perhaps you turned peeped into peeking and adapted these sentences that way. Using this picture as a prompt, take a minute now to write a sentence of your own that ends with an ing phrase. Pause and click play when you are ready to continue. Remember to write your sentence down if you intend to send your original sentences to me for extra credit. Just as you can use ing words or phrases at the beginning of a sentence, so too can you use ly words or phrases or any other adverb. Here are two examples of sentences that do so. Take a moment to read them now. Let's combine these two shorter sentences to create one sentence that uses ly at the beginning. The lion began to approach its prey. It crept quietly along in the moonlight. Click pause if you need a moment to consider how to do this. What did you think of? Perhaps something like this? Quietly creeping along in the moonlight, the lion began to approach its prey. Using this picture as a prompt, now take a minute to write a sentence of your own that starts with ly. I hope that you'll be sending these original sentences to me so that I can see your great ideas. So, in summary, here are the sassy sentence starters that we just explored. Two adjective beginnings, ing at the beginning or at the end, and ly beginnings. Knowing how to start a sentence in a number of ways is terrific, but it will only help you in your writing if you remember to demonstrate this skill. It is important to note that while you are writing your rough draft, you do not necessarily need to focus on combining shorter sentences and varying sentence beginnings. This should occur in the editing and revising phases of your writing. Please press pause now to take a moment and read these proofreading and revising tips. Thank you for taking the time to watch this informative video. Remember, you can email me your original sentences in order to get my feedback and earn extra credit on your next composition. Additionally, please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions at all about this skill.